Hey guys, Rock and Roller for Life here. Today I'm going to do a requested video. This video was requested by my Aunt Erica. I'm going to talk about some hair metal bands, and I think I'm going to do this in a top 10 format type of way. I think I'm going to do my top 10 favorite hair metal albums and just give like a little brief rundown on why I like the album, maybe a little bit of history about the album, just whatever comes to my mind. I'm going to start at number 10 and go all the way to number 1. So starting it off at number 10 is an album by a band called Danger Danger. It's their debut album. It was released in 1989, which is really whenever hair metal, glam metal started to, the popularity started to decline. It's really when grunge started to really take over. But I love this album. I got it on Amazon probably about a couple months ago for $5. And I've listened to it probably about 8 times already. But I love the album opener, Naughty Naughty. If you've never heard this album, I'm pretty sure the whole album is on YouTube, but I always prefer physical media, so you can get this on Amazon for about $5. But the opening track, Naughty Naughty, is a great way to start off the album. Really sets the pace, and on all the songs on here are awesome. Under the Gun's really amazing. Bang Bang is another really awesome one. Rock America. I feel like this band, just because they started out a little later in the heavy metal, the hair metal scene, they didn't get as much recognition as I think they should have. Even their second album is really great, but this one takes the cake for me as in my number 10 spot. At number 9, I'm going to go with Poison's Open Up and Say Aw album. This is their second album, and this is my favorite one out of all their releases. This one has the ballad Every Rose Has Its Thorn, which may be an overplayed song, but it's okay because it is an amazing song. Some other hits off of this one are Nothing But a Good Time, Fallen Angel, Your Mama Don't Dance. They're all really awesome songs, and great album from start to finish. I never want to skip any of the tracks. This album always puts me in a good mood. I can put it on whenever. Love the album cover. Just a quick fact, whenever this album was first released, they had to edit the album cover because, as you can see, there's a big long tongue sticking out of whatever this thing is, like a devil's mouth, and they had to put some black bars on the top and the bottom to cover up the tongue. But I'm glad whenever they re-released it that they put the original intended album cover on here. This album was also released a little later in the scene. This one was released in 1988. Which is a little later as well, but still a great album. Amazing album, actually. I really enjoy this one. At number 8, I'm going to go with Bon Jovi's debut album. And this one was released in 1984. And some people would argue that Bon Jovi is not a hair metal band. But I'm going to go ahead and put them on here. I'm going to go ahead because I know they helped get another hair metal band, Cinderella. I know they helped them get the notoriety and helped them get kickstarted their career. But this is Bon Jovi's debut album. Favorite song on this album is Runaway. It's the first song, an amazing way to start off the album. I mean every song on here is really good. Shot Through the Heart is awesome. Roulette was really good. Breakout, Burning for Love. I like this album better than Slippery When Wet, to be completely honest. Slippery When Wet is, of course, the album of theirs that has You Give Love a Bad Name, Living on a Prayer, Wanted Dead or Alive. Really the album that earned them the notoriety they deserved. It's definitely their best-selling album, but I think this one is my favorite. I'm not saying these are the best albums. These are my favorite. This is personal preference. Top 10 videos are always personal preference. But yeah, love this one. All right, next up is also a band that they're not really hair metal, but they went through a hair metal phase in the early to late 80s. But this is Kiss's album called Lick It Up. This album's awesome. This is the only album to actually feature Vinnie Vincent on guitar. He's a great shred guitarist. He's what really, his guitar work is really what kind of set this album up as being labeled a hair metal album. But big hit off here is obviously the title track, Lick It Up. The first song, Exciter, is also an amazing song. I love it. Young and Wasted is really awesome. All Hell's Breaking Loose is another great song. I enjoyed this lineup of Kiss, and I absolutely love Eric Carr. He's an amazing drummer. It's a shame that he died in believe 91 or 92. But he had a great run with Kiss, and he really was a very gifted drummer. And you know, I hated to see him pass away at such a young age, but you know, it happens to the best of us. But yeah, an amazing album. It's, you know, this is where when they were getting into their hair metal phase, really, one that kickstarted that. At number, is this number 6? Yeah, number 6 is Warrant's debut album, Dirty, Rotten, Filthy, Stinking Rich. I love this album. Love the album cover. It's a very cool album cover. I'm going to zoom in a little bit. It's really cool. But and it really, the album cover features like a rich tycoon or a rich, you know, business owner who's, you know, he's smoking rolls of cigarettes that are money, and he has money in his hair. And you know, this album is really just about the greed, corporate America and greed. You know, the album starts off with a song called 32 Pennies. Sometimes She Cries is an awesome song. Dirty, Rotten, Filthy, Stinking Rich, the title track, is an awesome song as well. Heaven's one of my favorites on this one. But I love this one. I love this a whole hell of a lot better than I like their second album, Cherry Pie. I'm not a huge fan of Cherry Pie, actually. The song, yes, but the album as a whole, not as much. So that's why I went ahead and picked this one. Alright, at number 5, I'm going to go with a band that I mentioned earlier, and that is Cinderella's album, debut album called Night Songs. Cinderella was helped put on the scene by Bon Jovi. Bon Jovi helped them. Yeah, this is a really awesome album. Nobody's Fool is the hit off this album, really. If you start like a 80s rock station on Pandora or a hair metal station, that's the only song you're probably ever going to hear by Cinderella, which is a shame because this album has so many classics on it. Push Push, Nothing for Nothing is a song I wish they would play more. It starts off with Night Songs. Love that one. Shake Me, another great song. Somebody Save Me. Yeah, I love this album. That's why it's at number 5. At number 4, I'm going with Europe, The Final Countdown. Love this album. You know, title track, definitely overplayed. In fact, every once in a while when I start this album off, I do skip that song because it's a little overplayed. I like the second song, Rock the Night, a whole lot better. I think it's just a better song in general, just a bit more pure rock and heavy metal song. Carrie is a great ballad off of this one. Danger on the Track, Time Has Come is another one of my favorites. Yeah, I love this album. Sadly, Europe really didn't release any other albums that were up to par with this one, in my opinion. And this is their debut album. You know, a lot of hair metal bands had some awesome debut albums, and then, you know, a little later on in their career when they released other ones, they just didn't reach the potential that they showed with their first albums. But love this one, so that's why it's at number 4. Alright, so the top 3 here, on any given day, they might be interchangeable. You know, this is, you know, sometimes you're in the mood for certain albums, but these are definitely the top 3, but the way that I rank them doesn't necessarily matter usually. So, but I'm going to go ahead today. This is how I rank them. So at number 3, I'm going with Motley Crue's second album, Shout at the Devil. Yeah, this song's awesome. I actually, I was at the fair, you know, at the Kentucky State Fair, and they had a free Vince Neil concert, and they played a whole lot of songs from this album, and I love it. Sadly, it wasn't an actual Motley Crue concert. It was just, you know, Vince Neil and his band. But they played some awesome ones on here. Shout at the Devil's an awesome title track. Looks That Kill. They did a cover of the Beatles' Helter Skelter, which was actually really good. Too Young to Fall in Love. Knock 'em Dead Kid. 10 Seconds to Love. Red Hot. I think every song on here is a class. Every song on here was a big hit for them almost. I mean, it's amazing. And I do like the back cover as well. It shows them. Yeah, love this album so much. I also have Theater of Pain, but I don't like that one as much. That's why I went ahead and chose Shout at the Devil as my number 3 pick. At number 2 is Dawkins' third album, which is called Back for the Attack. Don Dawkins' vocals are so powerful and so amazing, and but they're not as amazing as the vocalist of the band in my number 1 pick, which is what really what brought this down to number 2. He has amazing vocals, but they're not as amazing as the next vocalist. But yeah, man, this album has a lot of bangers on it. It really does. Even has one instrumental called Mr. Scary, which is awesome as well. Instrumentals is not something you hear very often from hair metal bands. But starts off with Kiss of Death, Prisoners, an awesome song as well, Night by Night, Standing in the Shadows. Really, like the first 8 songs on here are just absolute amazing. And then they kind of lose a little bit of steam with the 9th and the 10th and the 11th song, but then they pick up steam again with the 12th and 13th. You know, a lot of people may have heard one of their songs. One of their songs is called, even if they've never heard anything else, they've probably heard Dream Warriors before. If you've ever seen Nightmare on Elm Street 3, they recorded a song specifically for that movie called Dream Warriors, and that's on here. So you've probably heard that song. And if you've never heard this album all the way through, I definitely recommend picking it up because it really is amazing. I think I also got this for $5 on Amazon. Amazon has like a lot of great hair metal albums for really cheap. Probably because a whole lot of people don't like hair metal, but good thing I do then. Yeah, so number 2. Alright, at number 1, this one absolutely blows all the other albums out of the water in my opinion. This is Skid Row's debut album. You know, when I mentioned the vocalist of this one being better than Don Dawkins, Sebastian Bach, just so powerful. His vocals are amazing, especially on the ballad on this one called I Remember You. Really stands out. He always stands out whenever he's singing. I mean, he has a stage presence too. He really shows up and shows out all the time. My favorite song on here is 18 for Life, but some other notable songs are the opening song Big Guns, Sweet Little Sister, Rattlesnake Shake's awesome, Youth Gone Wild, which is my second favorite song on here. I love it. I love this album. Listen to this one so much as well. I can always put this one on. It doesn't matter how many times I've already listened to it before. Yeah, so that is my top 10 favorite hair metal albums. Yeah, so if you enjoyed, or if you've ever heard any of these albums, give me your opinions on them. If you don't like hair metal, you know, tell me why you don't like it. Maybe you know, not everybody's gonna like every genre. Music is a very preference-based thing. I mean, you know, you either like it or you don't, and that's okay. You know, we can all like whatever we want to like. So, thank you for watching. Like I said, comment. I'm always available or open to doing any comments, you know, any videos you suggest in the comments. But, you know, like, subscribe, and I'll be at it with another video in not too long. So thank you for watching. See ya.